And excited to be with you. Excited to share this news with you. People, we have some big wins. Okay. Just remember Greg Abbott and his whole statement. The first busload has arrived. We're going to cover that. We've got a major decision out of Oklahoma, big pro-life decision there. I got a little update on the New York subway guy, kind of an interesting thing there. And a really cool story on somebody getting involved in local politics, seeing that as the way on a school board, and he's a three-time Super Bowl champion. So, hey, this is going to be a great report. Really excited to get into it. And not only that, Mike Lindell is giving great deals over at mypillow.com. If you have a promo code, you can use promo code Lumberjack, save up to 66%. Great deals going on there right now. I really recommend the travel pillow, the Giza sheets, and his sleepwear is super soft. But those sheets are the bomb diggity, all right? Anyways, good to see you on, Joe. Smash that like as you come in. Chat it up with where you're from, and let's get right into it. I'm going to play you the audio. This is off of Fox and Friends. This was shared by Chief Nerd on... By the way, Chief Nerd is such a great follow, whether you're on Telegram or Getter. But this taking place right... just recent. I mean, this is 49 minutes ago this was posted, and I'll let the audio play for you.
We're going to take you down to Washington, D.C. It's a Fox News alert. Remember when Greg Abbott said in Texas that if the federal government is going to drop migrants off in Texas, we will provide them free bus rides to our nation's capital?
Do you guys remember this? Greg Abbott said, we'll provide free bus rides to the nation's capital. He's done it. The first bus has arrived in D.C. with a few dozen illegals on it getting delivered to the Capitol. And a lot of people said, hey, he can't do that. That's just lip service. Greg Abbott sucks and all that. No, he's doing it. And he is bringing attention to a major issue, okay? So all you Greg Abbott haters, look, the guy is a lot better than a lot of governors. I understand the issues with him, but come on. We're not going to agree with everybody on everything. But he did do this, okay? He did do this, and I'm kind of excited about it. They were getting processed on the bus. Sherry, good to see you on. Thanks for joining me this morning. This is gonna be quick, and I've got I'm still trying to get some things in order here in my life itself. But this is big news, okay? Not only that, okay, you guys all saw the video of Biden getting pooped on by the bird, okay? Okay, and then now they're trying to tell you it's corn. Now, here's the thing. Guys, I'm going to tell you a personal story. Years ago, this is back in my, oh gosh, I must have been like 10 years old, 12 years old. I don't know, something like that. There was a friend of the family. They had a dairy farm down the road, and Jerry got married to Peggy. And I went to the wedding, and you guys are never going to get this. It was an outdoor wedding at a farm. They got swallows all over the place. I'm walking with my food. I kid you not. This really happened to me. I'm like eating my food at the wedding, and blop, bird poop right on my plate, okay? So I kind of know a thing or two about, a bird pooping on you, okay? And, I've been around corn a little bit, because right now, the media and the Biden regime are telling you that it was corn that fell. Now, I've never seen corn stick to a coat. Maybe it is. Maybe it's magical corn. But even the birds know that he's full of crap. And they're calling it, Vladimir Poopin and the Poopin price hike. It's beautiful. This bird's pretty sharp. But I'm just telling you, I've actually... raining corn. I actually know something about this, okay? I've had it happen to me. I've had a bird poop. And it kind of looks like what I saw there in the video. I mean, maybe if we had it in 4K and we could blow it up big enough, we'd see that it was magical corn. But I'm just... Oh my gosh. When even birds know your lies about inflation are full of it. By the way, you know what this is about? He wants to do more ethanol production to solve our gas problems. Are you kidding me? We've already got major inflationary pressures on corn, wheat, soybeans, everything else. Fertilizer costs are triple for farmers. I work with an ag bank, do marketing work with them. People, it's nuts out there. Everything, and there was oh, you know what? I don't have that one pulled up. There's a tremendous read in the Wall Street Journal. I may get to that here if I've got enough time. But I want to get into the biggest story of the day. Since I got 186 of you on, please do smash that like, because this is the best news of the day right here. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt signs near total abortion ban into law. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt on Tuesday signed a bill to ban abortions in the state, except in medical emergencies. People, this is the biggest stain on our nation. When we are not willing to protect the most innocent, the babies, are you kidding me? And so we literally have a situation where out in California, they want to allow people to take the life of a child 10 days after they're born. And here in Oklahoma, do you see the disparity? Do you see the heartland, the Midwest, where we're at compared to California? Now, I shouldn't say that because I'm in Minnesota in the Twin Cities, unfortunately, which has the second highest homosexual population in the nation and is all pro-abortion down there. It's nuts. As governor, I promised to sign every piece of pro-life legislation that hit my desk, Stitt said on Twitter after signing the bill. Today, I kept that promise by signing SB 612 into law, once again showing the world that Oklahoma is the most pro-life state in the country. He added in a separate post, the most important thing is to take a stand for the unborn and protect life. Every life is precious. As a father of 6, that's what I believe, and I know that's what Oklahomans believe. As a father of 7, that's what I believe. Do you know, we had lost a baby before we had our first baby, and he was 19 weeks along in the pregnancy. Never once did we refer to our baby as a fetus. Not once. Never. Are you kidding me? That was our baby, and we mourned the loss of our baby. I mean, it changing, this whole ownership of words and recasting words like transgender, it doesn't even exist. Gay, that doesn't even exist. That used to mean happy. Okay? Look, I mean, never. I mean, yeah. Terribly sad moment to lose your child. So anyways, under the legislation, those who are found to have carried out abortions can be penalized up to $100,000 and face up to 10 years in prison. There is no exception for rape or incest. Attorney General John O'Connor, and I know this bill will be challenged immediately by liberal activists from the coast, Stitt noted in the legislation signing. Isn't that interesting? That he's willing to sign that, knowing that legal challenges will come, where we hear from those 2 Republicans who wouldn't even sign the bills, outlawing, biological sex, women, sports, that kind of stuff. Look, and they're all worried about legal challenges. This guy signed something that he knows will be legally challenged. And there is no constitutional right to this, people. It was a rogue Supreme Court decision, period. Planned Parenthood abortion providers in Oklahoma saw a nearly 2,500% increase in Texas patients in the months after the Texas law took effect compared to the same period in 2020, the organization said. And now they're going to get these. Oh, it's just so glorious. People, this is the best news of the day. And with children, that's where the driving force is. And I'm going to skip ahead here right now to this because I love this story. 3-time Super Bowl champion running for local school board. 11-year NFL veteran and 3-time Super Bowl champion Matt Light announced that he's running for a seat on the Foxborough, Massachusetts school board after seeing what his children have gone through in the public school system. Light, who doesn't align himself with the party, took major issue with the mandatory mask wearing for children. While Foxborough schools are no longer requiring children to wear masks, Light is looking forward for when the next thing pops up. I would be talking to friends of mine in the Foxborough area where we still live, where I played for a long time, and I would be telling my friends and other family members that have kids in the school system here that this isn't right, what's happening. What our kids are going through as they go to public schools shouldn't be happening. How is this possible? He calls his candidacy an opportunity to give back and share an unheard perspective. And people, truly, for somebody like this running for school board, he is giving back. Okay? It's not like it pays a bunch. Okay? And it's something that people tell me like, hey, you don't have to worry about that anymore. It's over, he said, according to NBC Boston. But what happens the next time, he said? And I've never been an anti-masker. I've been an tell me what to do and expect me to fall in line. This guy and I have some things in common. Okay. He'll be looking to unseat Chairman Robert Canfield or Brent Reuter, who defended those policies throughout the, I'm not even going to call it that. What do you want to call it? It's not a pandemic. I don't know. Anyways, words, people, words. Okay. So that's really cool. And another thing on the school front, Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears. Okay. Listen to this. I love this woman. Okay. I know a lot of you guys are kind of, not real big fans of Glenn Youngkin, and I understand why. Okay. He has done some good things. Okay. But nonetheless, I totally get it. Okay. But I really like Winsome Sears. I like her much more than Youngkin. On Tuesday broadcast of the Fox News channel Fox and Friends First, Virginia Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears said that rich people already get to have a say in what their children learn in school, because if they don't like what their children are learning, they pick them up and they put them somewhere else. It is those of us who don't have the means to move our children that are being subjected to this. Sears said Democrats better start listening to parents because the children do belong to the parents and not the state. I love this lady. She added, the thing is, parents have been saying all this time, we are the ones who will decide what our children should learn, because ultimately parents want to ensure that their children are learning. That's the whole thing. Are they learning? If they're not, then something needs to be done. And that's why we were elected last November. And that's the message that we're carrying. That's the laws that we're trying to pass. And in fact, we got 2 bills through. The governor just signed them this week. That's Glenn Youngkin, folks, just signed them this week. One of them was that the State Board of Education would convene a panel to include parents so that they can help make decisions about what their children are going to learn. And another one was that any explicit materials that are going to be provided to children and the parents must be notified. Imagine that this is what we have come to, that you would even have to put forth a bill like that, people. I'm off script here. She ended that too. But it really, to think, obviously it's my children. It's your children. That's why we homeschool, we're missing out on this form of socialization. I understand that they're trying to propagate on us. My children might not learn about what the transgenderism thing is or all this other stuff, and be subjected to explicit materials in kindergarten. But come on, I think my kids can do without that. Okay. Sears concluded, and by the way, this is not, again, against the rich and the poor and all of that, because the rich have already made the decisions when it comes to their children. If they don't like what their children are learning, they pick them up and they put them somewhere else. It is those of us who don't have the means to move our children that are being subjected to this. See, this is why it's always so disingenuous for all these ultra-rich liberals to come out and go blathering on about how they need to, support public schools. They don't support public schools because their kids aren't in public school. It's just a sham. It's a sham. Anyways, you guys know that, though. But I just had to throw that in. That was free for you today. All right, here we go on the subway shooting suspect, Frank R. James. He has YouTube tirades about race, guns, and Eric Adams, a troubled man who railed. Now, imagine, people, the news coverage would be nonstop if this was some white supremacist, as they say, some sort of, Proud Boy or whatever, right? But see, this is the problem. They're not getting that from these people. So instead, what they do is they use FBI plants like they did in Michigan to try to get this stuff. And then they can't even win a court case over it, okay? But this guy, they don't even want to talk about. But the New York Post will, because New York Post covers some unpopular subjects, okay? A troubled man who railed against Mayor Eric Adams and made bizarre threatening rants on YouTube has been identified as a person of interest and now a suspect in the savage Brooklyn subway attack that injured at least 23 people Tuesday morning, officials said. Frank James, who warned last month that he was entering the danger zone, rented a U-Haul van tied to the N-Train attack in Sunset Park and is being sought for questioning, police said at an evening briefing. Mr. Mayor, I'm a victim of your mental health program, James said in a lengthy video. I am 63 and now full of hate, anger, and bitterness. Now, what's interesting about this, if he was in a mental health program, I'm sure that he probably wasn't even allowed to own guns. So their gun control laws wouldn't have fixed it. Their enforcement of actual laws on the books might have fixed it, but they don't do that, right? because they want to run with. And by the way, why does this happen a day after Biden goes all in on these ghost guns, which there is no such thing as ghost guns. They're just homemade guns. Anyways, he also criticized the mayor for not doing more to combat homelessness. The NYPD said it is increasing security for Adams after police discovered the videos. James said in the videos that he had a diagnosed mental illness and railed against what he called the horror show of the city's mental health services. This article goes on, but I'm going to go to one other thing here. The MTA cameras, that's their mass transit authority. They have 1,000 cameras, people. There are 472 subway stations. All of those cameras were operational, except the 3 that would have seen this. What? It sounds like Epstein all over again. Yeah, well, it just so happened when the cameras, I'm not going to come to conclusions for you. I am just going to present the information. You guys do with that what you will. Make your own determinations. It is bizarre, okay? He was also a follower of Don Lemon. Not that, I mean, conservatives sometimes follow Don Lemon too, because, he's a whack job and people want to see what the nitwit is up to. Okay? So here you go. Breaking: NYPD named Frank James as a person of interest in the Brooklyn mass shooting. I looked into his social media. Like the Waukesha suspect and the Louisville BLM activist who allegedly tried to assassinate a mayoral candidate, he appeared to be a fan of black nationalism. Okay? And by the way, in Los Angeles, gangs are prowling the city and crews and targeting and robbing the super rich, police say. Now, what's interesting about that is most of those super rich in Los Angeles are liberal. I'm really having trouble having any sympathy for them as they are getting their just due out of their goofy stuff. Someone says the cameras were working. So I've got 2 reports on this. I've got 3 sources now that say that the cameras were not working. So I'm curious. No cameras in London tunnels, Lady Diana. That was all on camera though, wasn't it? Because she was the paparazzi was following her around, wasn't it? So I don't know. Just saying. It's a lot of this stuff, as things come out, and so they if they were or weren't working, I've got reports saying they weren't. Just watch the news in the next couple of days because it'll all get sorted out. A lot of this first initial reporting stuff is never all that accurate. It's just real. But the Los Angeles gangs prowling the city and crews targeting and robbing the super rich, police say. That's probably real news. Anyways. So here I got it again, and here I've got an actual graph of the broadcastify.com, not operational, offline. There were no working cameras in the 36th Street subway, police officials say, referring to the location where the shooting this morning occurred in Brooklyn. Where are you getting your source that the cameras were operational? Just curious. By the way, the libs are freaking out over this abortion thing in Oklahoma. It will be a felony to perform an abortion, punishable by up to 10 years in prison and a $100,000 fine. Unlike 2 other bans moving in the state's legislature, SB 612 lacks a private enforcement mechanism modeled on Texas's devastating ban. But unless blocked by the courts, it would be just as destructive for Oklahomans and their neighbors, since it will eliminate. See this? They say it's destructive. Like saving life is now destructive. These people are nut jobs, I'm telling you. It will eliminate access and force thousands of patients to turn elsewhere for care. It's not care, okay? Don't call it care. It's not health care. Should be life for life. Okay. I'm just curious if somebody else had some different thought. Look, I just share that with you today, folks. That's what I see going on out there in the world, and my thoughts on it. I think the biggest win of all time today was the Oklahoma deal. And I think the bird pooping on Biden is funny. Now, I know they're trying to tell us it's not a bird pooping on Biden, but, like I said, I've had experience with that at a wedding in the country, by a barn, with sparrows. My plate was pooped on. I'm sitting there walking along, just eating my food. And then all of a sudden, that plate went in the garbage, people. Okay? Hey, my newest sponsor, Revere Coffee Company, reverecoffeecompany.com. Promo code Lumberjack will save you 10% and also support the show. So thanks so much. All the links are below to follow me on other platforms, and also links for the sponsors. So please support the sponsors. They support the show. And thank you so much for listening. I hope you all have a great day. Love y'all. Peace out.